I'd like to say welcome, welcome, welcome to another segment of Recovery Live Global coming to you on your Tuesday nights. We are happy today because we have two individuals, husband and wife, really. That's Mr. Byron and Sonja Spivey, who's in the community, on the ground, working. And sometimes you don't get a chance to see the ground workers. You see the television and you see people that's doing work, but a lot of times the people that's doing the grunt work and the good work and right here on the ground in the community, you never get a chance to hear from those people. You never even get a chance to see those people. So I'm privileged today. I count it a privilege and a blessing to have Mr. Spivey and Miss Spivey here with me today. And we're going to talk about the community. We in zip code 48224. 48224. I'm told that's one of the highest crime areas in the city of Detroit. And there's a lot going on in that area. My church is in that area, and so we're right there in the area, and we've connected because of the block clubs and what they're trying to do in the community. And I'm going to let them speak about what they see from their perspective, living right there. I mean, what do they see, and then what are they doing technically to help the situation? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, what I see, I guess I see a lot, but I don't see a lot because usually I'm working. So a lot of times when I hear what's going on, crime wise or anything like that, for me it's usually hearsay. It's nothing I have actually seen. I have been a victim a couple times because I had my car stolen a couple times. But what we see and what we hear, or what we hear, I say it doesn't really make me happy. We hear a lot of violence. We hear a lot about people being shot. As I go to these different community meetings, with the Detroit Police, what is it, they Community Relations Board, different stuff like that, and you hear those crime reports and those crime statistics. It won't make you feel good. But my role in the community is to try to help make the lives of others better. Um, and I guess I do that with the community outreach. I do it with my Yorkshire Woods Community Organization, where we uh, try to bring neighbors together, try to bring neighbors on one accord, and also give them help or give them the tools to help themselves. Um, and that's just a small part of it. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm trying to be the savior of the neighborhood, but it would be nice to save a couple folks and be able to point them in the right direction. I don't want to ramble. Sandra, you want to say something?
I mean, what I see is, well, I'm home most of the day, and it's pretty peaceful now. It's not as challenging as it used to be. A lot of the people that used to cause problems in the neighborhood are gone, at least in our immediate area.
Okay.
And so it's a lot of people on our block now that it seems like they care.
Okay.
And they care about their property, so you'll see a lot of them cleaning up, trying to spruce it up a little bit. Um, I'm guessing a lot of the things that take place in the area is at night, and
Okay.
so we're not out at night, so we wouldn't really know until we wake up the next day and hear it on the news
Wake up and
or
hear
see
it.
it on Facebook or something like that. Yeah. I would like to see change in my community. Um, I would like to know my neighbors. As it stands, you come out the door and hello or whatnot. I want to we don't have to be best buddies, but I still want to know. At least let's know names and feel compelled to speak. Hey, let me go speak to Miss So and So or such and such. And you know, if you need some help in the winter, you need just snow shovel. Okay, let's get some help or whatnot. I want to see community come back like it used to be. I know it would never be the same, but let's get something similar going.
Yeah, I like what you said about getting to know my neighbors and getting past just hi and first name basis. Sometimes you want to know them, and you can know how they doing. You can look out for one another, and things like that. It's like community.
Yeah.
It's important that you do that. And then, I mean, when you gone, I'm watching your place. When I'm
Exactly.
gone, you watching mine, and then we can work like that. But yeah, community is a real important thing to even speak about and even talk about. And I'm glad you guys gracing the show to talk about it, because a lot of people don't want to. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't got nothing to say about it, and things like that. But somebody got to try to make the difference and connect the dots, with the people in the community. This is a Recovery Live Global show. It's on a couple of platforms. So right now, you got people that's looking in. I mean, they on their cell phone right now,
Okay.
and they looking at you, and they listening to you. They on their television. They looking at you. They listening to me. They on their computers, and they looking at us, and they listening to us. I mean, they just was on an ordinary day just scrolling through their little phone, and then up pop Recovery Live. And I just want to say to you, if you're out there listening and you're part of the listening audience, there's hope out there available for you. If you're hurting, if you have a substance abuse issue, you can always dial 1-800-241-4949. That's 1-800-241-4949, mental health, substance abuse. There's screeners on the phone 24 hours a day. You could just call them, and they'll listen to you, and they'll link you to a level of services that you need. You need to know that there's hope and there's help out there for you. If you need prayer, I mean, we could do that. If you need a recreation center that you in the neighborhood and you want to bring someplace for your children to play ball and to swim and to do things like that. Sometimes idle mind. They say idle mind is the enemy devil workshop. So sometimes it's good to connect your children with programs, reading,
Absolutely.
entrepreneurship, math, GED,
Cursive writing.
cursive. Yeah.
About
Or what
that?
you say?
Cursive writing, because
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
teach that in the schools anymore.
What?
No. So, I mean, that's a form of communication. And for them not to teach that anymore, it make me feel like you always read about. I guess it's going to be one world order, a new world order, or whatever, where all we doing is pressing buttons and, stuff like that. I think it take away from people socially,
Okay.
because if we are just going to be buttons or image behind a telephone screen or, then what we get, we lose in humanity.
Yeah, you take away the social aspect.
you take away the social.
In order to be whole and in order to be healthy, I mean, holistically speaking, the social piece is a part of it. I mean, we used to come over and have a barbecue and people sitting around and we playing cards and laughing and
That's what
talking to the kids seeing mom and daddy and seeing uncle and seeing grandpa sleep in the chair and all of that.
and all that.
And all of that. I mean, all of that meant something.
Yeah, because
It meant something. When you take the social out of the thing, then I don't know how to socialize. And it's something about socialization. It's something about, the Bible called it fellowship. It's something about being with another, being with people. We was not created to be all alone, all by ourselves, isolated,
loners,
and just somewhere. That's what they do in prison. They isolate you, put you in a cell. We wasn't created to do that. And I tell you, so when you in that type of a situation, your mind wanders.
Yeah, your mind wanders, and a lot of times it might not wander in the right direction.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know
talking
I mean?
about.
And sometimes you need that person maybe to talk to you to get you down off something
Yeah,
that you thought was good.
yeah, yeah.
You can look at it from another angle. It's not. I just feel like we all need to be working to try to recreate that. I mean, like you said earlier, being a kid or being a child in Detroit, I can remember somebody was saying, y'all poor. I said, well, if we poor, I sure can't tell, because it ain't like, and I mean, seriously, I never seen my lights cut off, never been hungry, never been without clean clothes or the means to clean my clothes, or never not got where I need to go. My parents was always there for that. But then, like you said, we had neighbors that was there for that too. So if my man was going and I needed a ride, oh, come on, boy,
Yeah.
hurry up. And that's what we did. See, and we missing a lot of that. But there's so many devilish influences
Right.
that again it leads people to me think the wrong way, and a lot of times not make good decisions.
Yeah, my grandkids playing basketball on the computer.
Right.
Stomach way out here.
But you can't get out there on the court and play on your own.
I mean, they playing basketball. They
Yeah.
champions. They
Yeah.
champions in pool on the computer. They champions in basketball on the computer. They champions in boxing on the computer. They champions swimmers all on the computer. And they never sweated. They never busted a grape. Never went out there. Come on now. Something about that. It's something about that, man. It's something about that they taking it away from us.
Because it was all meant to be a form of entertainment.
Okay.
Not spit my age out, but I think my age, my generation, we was the beginning of the video game at homes
Okay.
age.
Yeah.
But personally, I didn't get one until I got grown. I was old enough to buy my own because everybody couldn't afford it. Now, there was a few people that had it. But I think we all still used it as entertainment because we would be over somebody's house. We playing Atari. We might be playing Centipede or Stargate or Pac-Man or whatever it was that we was playing on the television. But eventually, it's time to go back outside.
Right. Right.
It's time for us to do what we do. And I think that somewhere that went away.
Yeah.
And then it just became
A way of life.
a way of life. It became a babysitting tool. It became a go over there and do that so I can do this. So I just think a lot of times that in-home entertainment like that, it broke a lot of societal norms down.
Okay.
People just interacting with their children. Well, I ain't finna play on that.
Right. But then, too, when you say play on that, you got to watch it because that right there can open up to all kinds of
But that's what we not doing.
things that you don't want them to see, you don't want them to play with. So if you're going to give it to them to play with it, you at least need to have some kind of guidance and blockages and some kind of structured.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You not getting that.
Right.
You
right.
just
Oh,
throwing
man.
it out there all willy and like go do you.
And you
Why
could be,
go do me?
oh man, they sex texting, they
Oh,
get falling
yeah.
in love, they finding
This man,
drugs and alcohol and all
everything.
kind. Next
People
thing you
buying
know,
dope online. They
man.
come over here and put it in the drop box and do this.
Yeah.
And you doing all this online.
Yeah.
And then when you're not paying attention to what your kids doing, well, this the kind of stuff they get into.
Yep. And the
So,
next,
you shouldn't be 10 or 11-year-old little girl talk about twerking for somebody.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be a 10 or 12-year-old kid trying to find the latest porn sites.
wow.
But this is what you're getting. And again, it all starts with, to me, it's just my opinion, the breakdown in the home
Wow.
and the breakdown of all these gadgets.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they make life easier, but they complicate things just the same.
Yeah. And then they got guns coming in the neighborhood, drugs coming in the neighborhood. And then you got to be careful, man, because I found out I was, doing some research, and I found out that most people, they experiment with some kind of alcohol or mood altering chemical. That's the first thing they do is they'll experiment with it, and the next thing you know, they move from experimenting to now they recreation. In other words, let's get together on Friday and do this.
Yeah.
And then they move from recreation to abuse.
To
Now
addiction.
they don't want to share with they don't want to get together on Friday night because hey, you messing with my stuff
Because I want it all.
because I want it all. And then they move from abuse to dependency. Now there's a physiological aspect of it that's pulling them towards it, even when they don't even want it.
Yeah.
And if they're not careful, it'll turn into chronicity, and that's when it start affecting the kidneys, the lungs, the livers, and all of that. Well, what's after that is death.
Yeah.
But it all started with an experiment. And I did a research asking, well, the first time you ever used, who was you with and what was you at? You know what they said?
What?
Family and friends.
Yeah.
Family. So it's usually not a stranger. They said it's a family member and a friend.
Yeah.
So that's get the ball rolling. And next thing you know, man, we somewhere we don't want to be.
Yeah.
We don't want to be.
And that's a shame too, because even still going back to my youth, I would be ashamed
Okay.
if my grandparents knew or my mother and them knew that I was out there like that.
Okay.
And
Right. Well, now
and they made sure I didn't get out there.
now
like
me
that.
and Mama drinking together.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Daddy.
That's a big thing.
I mean, we. Well, I tell you what.
And partying together.
Hey, if you gonna do what you do, I'd rather you do it at home. And so let me just spread my table at home, and you could just do it right here, because I would rather you do it at home with me than to be out there doing it in the streets with some stranger or something. So now you got the parents, but then now you got grandparents in their 30s. you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? How you get it? I mean, I'm saying, wait a minute, grandmama don't look like grandmama used to look.
No.
Yeah,
Not at all.
now grandmama don't look like grandma. Mama don't look like mama used to look. Daddy don't look like daddy used to look. And it's just some kind of circle. I thank God for this program, man, because we can just sit here and relax and talk about help and healing and recovery
Yeah.
and linking people to services and help, man. You'd be surprised. I think it's a good place right now that we can take a moment for our commercial. So I'm going to pause right here. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Well, you might be out there and you want to support the Recovery Live Global efforts. You can do so by purchasing one of our Recovery Live Global t-shirts. So I'm wearing one. If you look at it, it's here. We're moved into merchandise. So you can call us at 313-694-2140. That's 313-694-2140. And just say, hey, I want to support the ministry. I want to support Recovery Live Global by purchasing one of our Recovery Live Global t-shirts. And I had shared with those, if you live in the metropolitan area and you want a t-shirt, I'll deliver it. I'll deliver it myself. There's no cost for deliverance. So call us and purchase your Recovery Live Global t-shirt in support of the Recovery Live Global show. So, support. I say welcome back to Recovery Live Global. Man, we had some interesting dialogue during the commercial break.
We did. Yeah,
You'd be
absolutely.
surprised where it's going to
Absolutely.
come from. We had some interesting dialogue during the commercial break. We was just sitting here, just dialoguing, and I made a comment. I said, you know what? Well, maybe we can tell our listening audience to find you a church in your neighborhood and go there. And then my sister, she made a comment. And what did you tell them what you said about that?
What I said was a lot of people are turned off from the church because church people aren't nice. However, sometimes it's still the place where you need to turn to. Maybe even in their meanness, sometimes they have something to say that's useful and can still direct you somewhere, but it's all understood. If you don't want to go to church, you still need to seek help for whatever you're having issues with. If you're thinking about running away, if you're thinking about, I don't know, taking off with some guy or taking drugs or things like that, you seek help first before you do that. If you're trying to escape, I don't know, a bad life at home, um, just your own issues, what you think in your head, talk to somebody first before you even take that leap. Um, I have 4 daughters, and I try my hardest to be there for them. I know everybody does not have that, but it's got to be for women or females or young ladies. It's got to be someone you would feel comfortable enough to talk to that might not pass judgment, but you gotta open up as well in order to be received. So seek somebody and talk to them and get the help that you need before you take drastic measures. It's help out here for you. It's a number on the screen. You can always use that number. It'll be flashed again to get the help you need if you don't want to go to a church.
Hmm.
That's what I had to say.
I like that. And remember how we used to call 211?
Yep.
Well, you could dial 411 right now. Pick up your phone and dial 411, 411, and somebody will pick up the phone. It's United Way,
Okay.
and they can link you to substance abuse, housing, jobs, family reunification counseling. I mean, all of the services that you would need. You could just pick up any cell phone, any phone, and just dial 411. And there's somebody there 24 hours to address you and listen to. And those people train. They train to just listen to you and listen to you and listen to you. And then they can connect the dots and get you the help that you want. Now, if you're talking substance abuse, then you want to dial 1 800 241 4949. That's Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network. And they're on the lines 24 hours to help you with substance abuse and mental health. And like you say, I mean, a lot of us don't want to call the numbers. Hey, but there's somebody. Come on now. You got somebody in your family, somebody, a neighbor, somebody at the rec center,
Yeah.
somebody
you look up
somewhere that you can talk to before you just pull the trigger
Yeah.
or before you just jump, before you just do something out of the ordinary. Before you do that, that was that. That was the. It was a almost like a movie star who jumped, plunged to her death, and they made a big news about this
to. Oh,
girl,
yeah, she was
Yeah.
a beauty
What was-
queen.
a beauty queen. Yeah, she.
Miss
If you was to
Universe.
look at her, it was like she was headed on the ball.
Yeah.
If you looked at her, but she walked up them stairs. She walked up them stairs and went all the way to the top and made her jump and made her plunge. So a lot of times you can't see, what a person is feeling on the outside. And I tell you something, if somebody come to you and want to talk, give them a minute. Give them a minute. Just give them.
Just
I've been
listen.
I was a barber for 40 years. I just got rid of my shop salon. I just got rid of But I'm saying a guy walked in my barber shop, said I need to talk, and I was thinking that I'm in the middle of this haircut. Just have a seat for a minute. He left. That night, he killed himself.
Wow.
And I was thinking about, and I had to go to counseling because I was wondering, did I cause it? Did I not do what I had to do and things like that? But when somebody say, hey, Byron, can I talk to you for a minute? Just, just, just try to
try to give them that time.
try to give them that, moment when they say, Sonja, can I talk to you for a minute, sister? Just give them a minute. Just give them a minute, because you never know. You just never know that what's going on in a person's life, and it's hard to say, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" It's really hard to do that, and when a person do that, we have to be sensitive.
Yeah, you got to be open to it.
And you got to be open to it.
And like you said too, you never know if you would say something that could change that person's whole outlook.
Yes.
So like you said, sometimes you just gotta give a person a chance. I talk to a lot of grown people, kids, teenagers, and like you said, sometimes they just need that ear. Sometimes they just need somewhere to vent. I'm not a pro. I'm not a psychologist. I don't claim to be.
Okay.
But I do enjoy people.
Okay.
I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy having a good laugh.
Okay.
But, I also enjoy being able to be that person that sometimes somebody can lean on.
Okay.
That some kid can lean on, that my wife can lean on, that our daughters can lean on, my mother, whoever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all put here to serve each other.
Okay.
That's one of the greatest things that a person can do for another person. So I just think people ought to think about that. And maybe if we got the notion to help serve our fellow man a little better, and maybe we can curtail all this foolishness that's going on out here with the killings, with the everything. We know everything get sensationalized on television, but where's the fight at the not show all that all the time?
Right.
Because like you said, there's people out here doing good and trying to do good.
It is.
And I think people need to see more examples of that rather than all this killing and how many black people killing other black people and how many white people killing black people and how many white people killing white people and on and on and on. Seems like that's all we care about. That's all they push on TV.
Well, this
and
is
more than that.
This Recovery Live Global.
Yeah.
And our purpose and our motivation and our job is to inspire, educate, and direct people to hope and help and wellness.
Absolutely.
And we do that by coming onto the show, interviewing different people, just having casual conversations about life. And hopefully that somebody is looking and listening and may get some of the hope that you have. You may be out there today and it's dark for you and don't look good for you. And we here today to tell you that it's hope after whatever feelings that you're going through. You may have went through something that was drama, just got you all messed up and confused. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. And a lot of times when a person is trying to talk to somebody, I may not even know the answer. Sometimes just being a soundboard for somebody to talk is the answer. Sometimes being a soundboard is the answer for somebody.
Yep. And that's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need. So, man, I really appreciate you guys coming, man, and just taking a few minutes out of your day, and coming and just sitting back on Recovery Live Global and just sharing with the listening audience. Brother Byron, you got any closing remarks that you would like to say? I mean, you got New York looking at you, California looking at you. You got some senior citizens that I know it's hard to talk to all of them at the same time. But you got any closing remarks that you would like to just say?
Well, let me shout out all my Grambling State University peoples. If any of y'all out there listening, go Tigers. I love the G. I love Detroit too. And I know we all can do better. Let's make an effort. Get your minds right. Get your bodies right. Come up to the recreation center and work out. Go swimming. Meet somebody. Learn how to build a drone. But let's do something to make our lives better and make the lives of others better. And let's all work together to do that.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Miss Sonja, you got any closing remarks that you would like to say before we conclude our segment today? First of all, thank you. Man, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank
This
you.
is a first. I don't know. I just learn to get up every day with a thankful heart. Be grateful. And just start your day there. That's what I have.
Thank the Lord for waking you up in the morning.
Amen. Amen. And I like to say, if you out there and you kind of like what we're doing and you want to be a part of this, when we close the show, there's going to be a number that you can call and say, you know something, I want to interview on the show. I got something to say. Just call me. Just call me. Take a seat. Take a mic. And then you share what you got for the community as it relates to Recovery Live Global. So it's wide open. So I'd just like to take this moment to thank everybody for listening and viewing Recovery Live Global. I'll see you next week.
Peace, y'all.
Stepping on the end, step.